Hello, Roftwood. I'm Zombie GG with the Roftwood Coordination Center, proudly presenting you with another post-apocalyptic production I like to call an RCC Fireside Chat. Being so close to Halloween 2018, I thought it appropriate to entertain one of the game's top pro zombie groups. So without further ado, here is part 2 of a discussion I had with my powerful friend and arch nemesis, Rotting Rita, leader of the Scourge pro zombie group. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the show.
Well, I mean, as a zombie group or a zombie itself, like, you're gonna try and aim for the ones that are the tactical resource points, which are your malls, police departments, hospitals, and all that sort of stuff. And I mean, like, the handy thing with the mall as well, you only have to break open one tile, like one square. Like, you don't have to break open all four to be able to get into each corner. You break one corner, and then you're in all four corners easy enough. And
Yeah.
so you might break in a corner where there's no one in there, but then you can move into the corner that has someone. So that's why malls are so hard to defend. And they're not the most ideal TRP. But I don't know, everyone enjoys staying in malls because they're obviously better search rates for certain things and all that sort of stuff. So
Yeah. And then just, I don't know, the cultural appeal too. There is something, you guys said, or you said that the Scourge kind of focuses on ruining buildings and stuff. And the reason of that is because buildings are kind of unique in the game. And, I don't know, malls I think are especially kind of unique buildings in the game. It's kind of
yeah,
cool to
well,
just, like, sack a suburbs mall. It's always been to me like the trophy or the crown of the mall. I mean, the crown of the suburb is like its mall. So it's
yeah.
like a
I mean,
zombie
like,
group comes in and just takes the crown. It's like, ah, or the home team has to try to really like fight hard to
well, I
defend the
mean,
crown.
like, well, that's the thing. It's like if you ruin an entire mall and you have zombies in all four corners, that's essentially four buildings that you need to fix versus one building that you need to fix. So there's advantages like that for those as well.
What other survivor groups have you experienced as a zombie group that were like challenging?
We recently went to Kempster Bank for the first time.
Yeah.
And so because we'd never been before, because I think last time, because we did a mall tour and we are like, cool, let's start at Creedy, we'll go through all the malls. Some were ruined and we had to keep moving on. And then I think last time we were at Roftwood, we were like, well, let's go to Kempster Bank because it's close by. And yeah, we had like pretty decent fight with those guys. Like, the Knights Templar are an amazing survivor group in terms of how coordinated they are, and all that sort of stuff. So they're very quick at fixing things as well. So very on the ball, which makes as a zombie group, it's more interesting. It's annoying because you're kind of like, well, we just broke in and then you kicked us out already, but at least we knew that there was someone fighting back.
I don't like when a suburb's just always safe. It's fun to enjoy like periods of peace, for like I guess the most I can do is maybe like a month, honestly. I'm totally like a militant player. I love the military action part of Urban Dead. And so like I can do at most like a month of that stuff because maybe that gives me enough time to go do like a foreign campaign thing for a change instead of always defending the home suburb. I don't even care for green suburbs, so I'm sure zombies don't really care for red suburbs that are just super dangerous, because that just means that, like, where's the competition? If it's red, it's like everyone's sitting in the revive queue. But, yellow and orange I think are pretty cool. It's cool, the challenge or whatever. It's, in the moment, it's kind of frustrating. I can feel and empathize with that for sure, when it's like, in my situation, it's like, we just cleared this building and took it back. Like, I remember so many times just battling for, like, we needed first aid kits so bad fighting you guys. Like, we couldn't even think about bullets. We just need, because you bit us. I didn't understand how that mechanic really worked.
When you bite someone, you infect them. So unless they have a first aid kit, they lose one health point per movement until they get healed. Or they run out of health points and they die, and then it starts all over again. They have to get another revive and so on. So
We're just trying to
that's
get like we could figure out needles, but like when we fight you, you get us reduced down to like we just need health kits. Like we just need to like we can get people revived, but like just getting them like cured from those bite wounds and stuff.
sometimes you don't even realize that you've been infected as well until you stand up and you're like, oh crap. It's like I've played survivors like for the longest time, and then that's happened to me before, and you don't like if you click too fast on like your login, you're like, cool, I died, stand up, whatever, and then you're like, oh no, I'm infected, and you're like, oh crap, I don't have a first aid kit, and then you're not near a group member, or like you're on your own, or and then you're like, oh crap, now I've got to find a hospital. Hope you've got enough AP to get there. Hope you've got enough AP to search for a first aid kit as well before dying. And I mean, that's the other thing with groups as well. That's why it's so handy to be part of a group. You have that backup. You can just be like, cool, I'm going to sit here, put a call out to my group. Someone will come along and help me out. So, and that goes the same for either Survivor or Zombie or PK or whatever. So,
Yeah, I don't know if I. My favorite thing about Urban Dead is definitely the group meta thing. The community is my favorite part of this game, 100%. Even like, you know, the enemies, like you guys or whatever. It's so fun to have just good arch nemesis, like Rotting Rita of the Scourge. It's like just seeing your character in game is just exhilarating. It just like I don't know sends shocks through the RCC. It's like if anyone spots Rotting Rita and posts her in Discord, it's like oh no, like we're in for it. Watch out, boys. Here we go. Buckle up. It's gonna be a time.
well, I mean, like this whole game it's all community based. Like it's us making the game work. Like it's a text based browser game basically. Like there's nothing more to it. Like there's nothing fancy about it or anything like that. It's like it's what we do as players in the game to make it actually interesting to play.
Yeah, it is kind of fun like that. I call it like campaigns. Like we just set up little campaigns. Like as community or group leaders, you know, we have like people that I don't know all rally for a certain reason. It's like how the Scourge just kind of rallied around smashing buildings into the ground and then posting screenshots of all the coolest buildings that you guys smashed in the ground. We kind of rally on like you know we always say keep Roftwood green, and if anyone wants to try to stop that, then good luck. As an RP nerd, I just love the like, I don't know, comic, just watching the story develop live. Like, there's no story in this like MMORPG. The story is just like what we as players record as it happens and stuff. And I don't know, it's either current events or historical events, but there's no like predicted future events in this game. It's all just like who knows what happens tomorrow. It's just kind of like up for grabs.
But that's the thing. It's like it's really cool to see how the game has developed over the years. Like it's a shame that the game isn't as popular as it ever was. But and I mean, like for me, it's the community that makes the game
Yeah.
even better. Like not being part of a group for the majority of like the first part of my
You
youth.
started
The
in
first group,
2007, and then when did you join a group?
not till 2015. So
Wow.
like that, like 6.5 years, seven.
What was your
7.5
biggest
years later,
break?
something like that. I don't really remember much. I know that I'd started the game the year just before I moved home after uni. And then I think the handy thing about the game was because it was so basic, I was on a dial-up connection when I moved back home.
Urban
And
Dead
so,
does favor dial-up connections.
yeah, and I mean, like, then that's the thing. Like, it was easy because it didn't take, like, there's no graphics to load or, like, nothing super fancy to load. Like, it's only a little bit here and there. Like, you don't have to play all day. You play once a day kind of thing. So, like, I don't have any, like, big memories of whether I actually had time away from the game or whether I remembered it. But I'm sure I must have at some point for at least a year. Like, I don't know. Well, I don't, yeah, like, I don't remember. But I know that I, when I, like, in around that 2015 period, like mid 2015, for probably the start of that year to then, I was sort of in a building where there was a group, and always getting asked like, "Hey, you should join. Like, you should join us. Like, you're really quiet. Like, why aren't you talking in the group, like in the building and all that sort of stuff?" And I'm like for me personally, I'm not big on the whole role play aspect of things. Like, or I'm better now at it. Like, I'm more comfortable with that sort of idea now. But back then, I was kind of like, I don't understand this. Like, I just want to kind of play the game. I'll talk a little bit here and there if I've got some information that everyone needs to know. But the whole actual like being part of a group was just like, I didn't even know they really existed. Like, I'm a bit sad that I never realized there were groups. Like, I feel like if I joined that to begin with, it would have been a big difference in terms of how to start. Like, the first, I don't know, 4 or 5 years of the game would have gone for me.
Man, I got into
But
groups so quick. Like, I immediately just, I don't know. Like, weren't you knew about the wiki and stuff?
yeah,
So
but
it's
that's the
like you're
thing. Like, I
reading
knew
about
about the wiki.
groups.
Well, no, I wasn't. All I was using the wiki, like, all my memories of the wiki was just like, I need to get into this building. I'm outside. Can I get into it? Check the wiki. Yes, it's very strongly barricaded. I can get in. Or like, if I was going to a certain place.
You had
But
like
like, I
tunnel
didn't.
vision. You only looked at building. Like,
Yeah,
I
like I
loved
literally didn't use
exploring the
for
wiki.
anything else. So
Jeez.
yeah, and I mean,
Go on. Sorry. It's just so
well, that's the thing.
crazy.
It's like, I know it's like it's so bizarre that I never even looked further than like, cool, this is a building I want to get into, or like what building around me is going to be am I going to be able to get into, and how I didn't look at anything else on the wiki. And then when I created the alt that I used to go through all the suburbs and just update the danger statuses of the buildings, which I figured was going to help out lots of other survivors because that's what I used to use.
Yeah, I think that's a wicked cool idea.
Yeah, like I started looking through the wiki a little bit more and going like, oh, there's groups, or because I joined a group and I was like, oh, it's a thing, and it's like, so you sort of have this whole discovery of what the game can actually be like. And I mean, since joining a group, it's just changed the way the dynamic of the game is for me. Like, it's weird when you're alone, like a player on your own. It's just, you're kind of a bit lonely, like you don't, it's like you go through emotions, like you don't have anything specific to have to do. Whereas when you're in a group, and you would know that, you'd be like, cool, Hildebrand's been ruined, let's coordinate to figure out how we can fix that.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're alone, it's like, you've got 50 action points, but are they going to be well used? Whereas when you're in a group, you've got a bigger pool of action points, so whether a zombie or a survivor group, like, you can work together to use those action points to either ruin everything or to fix it, or that
I
sort
look
of
at
stuff.
it as
So,
like your scope just broadens. It's like as an individual solo player, you can only really affect so much. But like when you're part of a group, it's like you can affect such a wider cast of things.
well, exactly. And I mean, you've got other people to sort of play with, so it's like, I mean, as humans, we're social, like, we're social beings.
We're
So
pack creatures. We're totally
yeah, I
pack
mean, like,
mentality.
yeah, I mean, like, there's times and places to play games on your own, but then you kind of really always want to be playing with someone else because it just enriches that whole experience.
I like
And
that.
so, yeah, and I mean, like, if you have that, then it just changes the whole dynamic of how you play, like, yourself. And
Ah,
so, yeah,
that's very
so,
interesting.
and I mean, like, you also don't have to use every single AP to have any kind of effect as well. It's like, because you've got someone, like, say you've got like 4 or 5 people that are active around the same time as you are. That's 4 or 5 times more action points than you have alone. So you can use half of your action points. They can all use half of their action points, and that's still more than what you could do alone. And so I think that changes the whole dynamic of the game as well,
100%.
which is really good. Like, yeah, like, but every zombie group over the years, like, if you look at any of the history, like on the wiki, or like if you just talk to players who have played zombies in zombie groups, the more, like, if you're part of a group and you have a strike, you just are so much more successful in your actions than what you are by yourself. Like, and that's where the feral zombies, if they pick up on when, like, if there's a zombie group in the area, like, I remember when we were at Creedy, So we're hitting the fort gatehouse every day at the same time because that's our strike time. You start seeing feral zombies that realize like when you're breaking the barricades open, and then they go, okay, cool. Then they can that makes it easier for them because they don't have to spend all their action points trying to break down the barricade themselves and then get inside and have nothing, like they can't do anything. So
They join your momentum.
yeah. Well, they just realize when
They catch your
it's all
rhythm
happening.
and roll with it.
Yeah. And then so it becomes like we'll do all the hard work of breaking in. But then, I mean, it helps anyway because if we've run out of action points anyway and they've got some still to go, then it works out as well. So, but it's an interesting way, like that there are those players that are the feral zombies that have never wanted to sort of join up with the group. They're just happy to sort of keep hitting the same buildings over and over again or the same area over and over again. And then just finding out, like, and figuring out when there is, like, if there is a bigger zombie, like a zombie group around, when that happens, so they just piggyback off that. And, like, and it's different because in-game survivors can talk. Like, it's very easy for them to talk, so you can, like, walk into a building as survivors, say, hey, I'm going to do this at this particular time, on this particular day, come and join me. Whereas with a zombie, you're limited in how you can actually talk, and whether anyone can actually understand you is the other thing. Some people are really good at the zombie language, others aren't.
Nope, I don't even
so
try.
It's always it's always a gamble as to whether if you say something, is that zombie aware of what the language is and how it works, and can they read it and all that sort of stuff. So that's why you'll see a lot of zombies like gesturing to themselves, and all that sort of stuff. So because it's like, if you say something, chances are they may not understand it.
So
but if you gesture
your
to yourself,
point.
yeah, and I mean, like, if you gesture to yourself, then it sort of helps. You can click on their profile and sort of go from there if they've got like something in their profile, like a Discord link, for instance, or whatnot. Like, it's a recruitment option, really, I guess.
Profile. Let me see. You have something hilarious. I always laugh when I read your profile. Please survive if possible. I have a mobile message. My zombie hands can't work the buttons. It's like, damn. Just brick and needle right then and there. It's hilarious. I'm gonna get brain rot on my zombie alt. It's just getting revived when you want to be a zombie is one of the most annoying things in the game, I think, that I've experienced. I mean, even like playing Super Pro Survivor and now playing a zombie guy, I don't think I've ever felt more annoyed than just like trying to play a straight pure zombie and just getting combat revived. It's just like, oh, I have to go find a building and jump out of it to kill myself, and I have to stand up like twice or whatever. Stand up once because I got combat revived, and then go jump out of a building, kill myself, and stand up again, which costs like more action points. I don't think survivors can relate to that pain. That is something I learned playing a zombie alt.
And I mean, like, you'll see some of the people that play career zombies and they have brain rot. Like, you don't see too many people that, like, if you encounter them all the time as a zombie, they're likely to have brain rot because it's like it's harder to revive.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
it's impossible to revive. Well, not impossible. There's a technicality.
Yeah. And I mean, like, with that, I think the funniest thing that has ever happened to us in the Scourge was we had a strike, and it was on the Morrish building, just which is 1 block south of Giddings Mall in Pitney Bank. We broke in. It was lit Necrotech building, which is the only place you can get revived if you're a zombie with brain rot.
That's the technicality.
We were mid-strike, so instructions being given out what to do, and then a survivor came in and revived us all.
Wow.
And we were like, what? And we're like,
in
what do we do?
Like, in mid-strike, someone just pokes you all.
Like,
you all drop to the floor, and you're just like, your whole plan just got... There's no way you planned for that. How do you plan for that?
No,
that's such a small probability. Yeah.
It was honestly, it was the weirdest thing, but it was super funny as well, because we were like, what do we do? Like, I'm like, we're in the middle of trying to get this building destroyed, and then all of a sudden we're all alive. It's like,
Do you remember the
and I mean,
guy?
like,
Did you get a screenshot of that? That'd be hilarious. That's such an
oh,
epic Urban Dead moment.
I mean, it's possible that we did. I don't remember. It was quite a while ago.
Oh, I gotta dig that
Um,
up. I'm looking at Pitney Bank right now, the Moorish building. It's like connected to Getting Small.
yeah, pretty much. And like, there's always like, I think when we were hitting that area, because we spent a lot of time there, just because it was so fruitful. Like there were survivors in both Giddings, and then if the Giddings was kind of ruined, then they'd all go to Creedy and vice versa. And but yeah, no, that striker was kind of like mid-strike getting revived. It was like, I don't know what we've got to do. So, because like, what can you do? It's like you're not prepared with your AP to do anything as a survivor because you're a zombie group. So it was the most bizarre situation we've ever been in. But like as I said, it was quite funny at the time, because it was just so bewildering. We weren't expecting it, and then all of a sudden we're just like we all got revived before we could break the generator and all that sort of stuff. So
Man, just so real time. Urban
well, that's the
Dead's-
thing. It's like
yeah.
you never know whether you're going to encounter someone in real time or not.
It's like this game's turn based because it's like action point based, and you only get one action point every half hour. So it's like you can really only do things kind of per turn. But there's those real time moments where someone else is using their like turns at the same time you're using your turns, and like yeah, bewildering shenanigans can happen.
But I mean, that makes it a bit more fun as well because you don't normally get that kind of real-time action. So when you do, it's a little bit, it's different to what you're used to. And I'm sure years ago, like when the population was much bigger, that you'd get that all the time.
Yeah.
Whereas
that's
these
the
days,
stories I hear.
you're very lucky if you actually manage to do that. So
Oh, it's fun. It's wicked fun playing against you guys.
for such a basic game, it's surprising how much fun it can be.
Yeah. Would you say that Moorish building was your most fun moment as the Scourge, just because it was so like out of the ordinary?
I wouldn't say it would be the most fun. I think, in general, whenever we do,
Was there like a specific event that was just like super awesome? Just I don't know, had certain players online that were just spicing it up and stuff.
I think realistically, like the way our group works is that we just do our thing. Like we log on, we ruin a building, we eat whoever's inside, or whatever. Like
It's
there's
so
nothing.
simple.
There's never. Yeah, and I mean like it's not. It's like it's not rocket science. So it's kind of like there's only certain things that zombies can do. So you just do that. I mean the Moorish building thing was kind of like it was unexpected. It was different. It was kind of like it was pretty funny. But in terms of like, I mean, like the Quarterly thing with you was kind of like you came into our Discord server, you raged at us for being like, oh my god, why did you ruin this building? Like it's sacred or whatever. And we were like, what the hell is going on?
Oh, I was so
And
personal.
then- Yeah, and then it was kind of like, but I mean, like it's things like that you don't know what reaction you're gonna get by breaking into a building, so you just do it anyway. And so,
Oh, the courtly truce. That was I don't know. I don't know. I respect that thing is just dead now. Or I don't know when it actually died. It's no one wants to moderate or police that thing, you know? It's just not. It was the thing at one point in time that was cool, but these days it's just who cares? It's just another building. Smash it.
well, I mean, but that's the thing. It's like it's hard when you don't have a big enough population to really have people around all the time to maintain it.
Yeah.
And so
I didn't want to do it.
when it-
That's kind of the position I found myself in. I was like, you know what? I don't really care.
Yeah.
What happens to Courtly happens to Courtly. I have bigger
Well, I
fish
mean,
to
like,
fry.
look how quickly it gets repopulated every time. Like, they get a revive and then they repair it and then they get back again. So, I don't think it ever stayed ruined for very long when we did hit it. So.
Yeah, I got. That was a leveling up process for me as a player in person. Was just I don't know, learning to not take buildings personally. It was funny.
And I mean, I think that's the thing. It's just like we just all have to remember it's a game. Like, it's literally like you don't have to play it if you don't want to. Like, it's your choice if you play it, kind of thing. And it's like, so for those people who get super angry about something, it's like, it's a game. It's literally like you can just save up your action points and fix it the next day, kind of thing. So
Yeah, nothing's forever in
no
Urban
point.
Dead, that's for sure. It's kind of like literally balanced to just always allow
But
comebacks.
yeah, it's kind of like a stalemate, but not.
I don't know, isn't the game just literally mechanically balanced? Where, like, I don't know. I have no
Well, I
idea how the
think that
game's
there's,
balanced.
well, it's supposedly like if there's more survivors than zombies, it's better for the zombies. Like, they have better rates, and then vice versa. But I mean, I think every now and then the game just has issues where, like, both sides just struggle. Like, you search for things and you spend all your action points searching for things and get like barely anything. As zombies, you hit the barricades and you get barely any of the barricades down. Or, like, theoretically, a lone zombie should be able to break into a very strongly barricaded building pretty, like, relatively easily, but that doesn't always happen. And so it so I don't know exactly how it all really works, but
Yeah.
that's the idea of it. So
When did you guys start up? June 2016, and Rotting Rita was like created February 2016.
yeah, so in one of my survivor groups, one of the guys in that group and I, just one day he was like, hey, do you have a zombie, and do you want to be in a, like, do you want to have a zombie group? Because we're in this survivor group together, and we'd often like strike, like, do little mini strikes at the same time and all that sort of stuff. Just because our time zones matched up when he was when he was active and I was active. And I started Rita like just earlier in the year, and so I was like, sure, I've got a zombie. And then that was kind of, we had a bit of a discussion on like what to name the group, and then we just named it the Scourge, and then we went from there. And then so we slowly slowly built up the group. We used the NecroConnect forum, which at the time, that 2015-2016 period, it was fairly active at the time. Like, not super active, but it was a lot more active than what it is today, and for the past year. But we went on there and we were like, we've got this zombie group, this is where we're hitting, anyone is welcome to come along. And we kind of just, I guess, grew the group from there. And then so over the time, like, we started using IRC.
Oh, so you guys are like the
Yeah.
tail end of the old school, using like NecroConnect forum originally, and then like using IRC to do your like meta coordination. That's like,
Yeah.
I just came back like this year, and it's just been straight to Discord. That's
Yeah,
pretty
I mean,
cool.
like,
The Scourge are like the tail end of the old school.
yeah, and then, yeah, with Discord, I think last year at some point, we'd started seeing a few groups starting to use it, and we were like, well, we may as well do it, so I created ours. And then I really feel like without Discord, our group probably wouldn't have grown the way it did over the years. I feel like Discord's such an easy user platform. Like, give a link, you can log in, you're on a browser straight away. If you want, you can download the desktop application, you can download a mobile application. Like, it's super user friendly. Whereas with IRC, like, it's still relatively user friendly, but it's a little bit more involved to actually log into a server. Whereas with Discord, it's like you can be part of all, like, whatever number of servers you like.
It's so easy.
And then, yeah, it's super easy. So I definitely think without Discord, the Scourge wouldn't be the group it would be like it is today. It's just changed the way the game's worked for us, I really feel. So, and I mean, like, I'm sure that most groups would feel something similar to that as well. It's just given it a different dynamic.
And I think it's really given the community an awesome dynamic. I've been having a great time just entertaining the like Scourge public chat and the like RF public chat. And I don't know, it's just made you guys a lot more human to us. Even though you're zombies and stuff, you're not these big scary like bad guy zombies. You're just like other human players who play this game and have fun playing it. And
I mean, like, that's the thing. It's like, it's all about just having fun. We're not there to ruin your lives. We're there because you need a foe, basically. So
I have learned that as a player. Part of my growing up process as a person in player has been a lot to do with the first scourging and kind of like the immature way I originally behaved when I first met you and stuff, just taking like the courtly sacking so personal. It's weird. I don't think I had as much fun playing the game back then as I do now. It's so much more fun just having like rivals and just seeing what you can do, and not everything's gonna work out according to plan, but that's kind of what makes it interesting and keeps it fresh. I don't. It's just weird, saying I've like learned something as a person playing a video game, but it's just to like relax and have fun and just understand that's why I play this game to begin with. If I'm getting upset over something, then I think I'm doing it wrong.
yeah. I don't know. I think that's the magic of this game. Like, the game has been going since 2005, and somehow it's still running. Like, people are still playing it, and I guess it's more the community thing than anything as to like why everyone keeps playing it. I doubt that it's kind of like, I mean, there's been no updates for like the last, I don't know, 6 years or something like that. There's nothing new to the game. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, it's a shame that there isn't. But I mean, the fact that we still are playing it
is because of the
pretty
community.
Cool. Yeah.
Hello again, Roftwood. This concludes my discussion with my powerful friend and arch nemesis, Rotting Rita, leader of the Scourge pro-zombie group. This RCC Fireside chat is a post-apocalyptic production proudly presented to you by the Roftwood Coordination Center. I'm Zombie GG, reminding you all to keep those eyes open and guns loaded. I got a feeling it's going to be a spooky Halloween.